leukemia. In this part of the world now, because of our level of body pain, either as a malaria or a typhoid. Malaria, typhoid every time.
Frequently.
You need to ask the question.
Okay.
Now, listen, what have I done for my, twice in a month, for instance? Usually one of the causes of paralysis are of undetermined origin. The temperature is just persistent there, then you can have swollen abdomen. These are explainable because essentially what we are missing is that the body, the lymphoid and erythrocyte, the red blood cells that help in distributing oxygen, and the white blood cells that help to fight infection. So when we have displacement of those things, when those things are not, because again, destruction, it goes, as it's being produced, some are destroyed, Now, when you have a lot of them being produced and there's no control, anything in life, you have a lot of them being produced. So now when these things are being produced, we have excess blood, excess immature blood, and they are not effective. They cannot fight infection, they cannot transport oxygen, they cannot help in clotting. So all the symptoms of things going related to that is useless blood circulating everywhere.
I'm glad you mentioned them, blood transfusion.
Acute one is that you see massive amount of red blood cells, which are not supposed to be there. And then you have to ask questions. Even the person that is less used to that was not contagious disease. It's not like HIV that, when you take and you give to another person, the person
has it.
Now, let's even assume that somebody receive transfusion. There's a process in the body that crush abnormal cells. Okay, when the cell is abnormal, the spleen grabs it and crush. And pick the ingredients there to recycle it to be used in manufacturing blood. So if all those organs are working, they can also have swollen lymph nodes mostly. All those organs are working to crush abnormal. They see a lot of abnormal red blood cells and they're trying to crush, and then some of them, all these cells now gather also in the process.
All right, doctor. When we hear somebody has leukemia, in this part of the world, it's like a death sentence already hanging on that person's head and all that. Is this?
But again, there are some that are actually very, tough and terrible. A lot of long treatments and they succumb. But you see, one of the things that tends to appear to give death sentence in this part of the world is our challenge with it cannot really just be done in every hospital.
Yes, I'm happy you mentioned that.
That's the way it should be. So now, our specialized centers, they have the challenge even of getting sufficient human resources to do all these things. That's number one. Two, they even have the challenge around the funding of health system, and then the person who is having leukemia will also have challenge of even raising money to procure those drugs because they don't come cheap. Now, what we need to do is, for me, is to start looking at insurance along your risk. Okay, if we do that, because one of the main challenges we face is trying to rethink the health system. We've left it the way it is. Now, for me, why accessibility? Because what is going to take a cushion? What will be the cushion for catastrophic health experience?
All right, let me ask Dr. Tui. You're a medical practitioner, so I might cancer treatment. I don't know what it's called, a center in Nigeria as a whole.
There are. Listen, my own worry is simply this. I don't feel comfortable when you try to structure health system in silos. You understand? We say, hey, this one, you are cancer, intervention, private intervention to rethink the system. Well, there are. Number one, all the teaching hospitals should be able to provide cancer screening. All the teaching hospitals.
I don't think I have a problem with, a cancer center standing alone. Treatment or gives a service for IVF. Okay, do you understand what I mean?
Let me explain. Now, if you did, most of the cancer treatments are multidisciplinary. Okay, it's not just that you identify the cancer like hematologists now. You have the radiologists there. Then you also still need the counselor and all those things. And then the other thing we should appreciate is that the fact that somebody has leukemia does not preclude the person from having, say, in terms of the kind of illness you have. Now, what you need to do is be able to have a place, you understand, where, you know, those kind of things, you know, you can provide anything you need. In fact, even the nurses that are going to do those things have to actually, you know, in Lagos, big cancer center, and somebody, if health system has developed to that level where some people can say, okay, this is only this thing I'm doing, and then they have been teaching hospital, for instance, you look at it and say, listen, there's a unit to deal with this, there's a unit to deal with this, there's a unit to deal with this, yes. In such a way that if there are interdisciplinary collaboration, it will be easy. Sufficient people trying to, you know, fund the health system, you know, then maybe we're going to get there. So for us now, our focus should be mainly at the primary health care, where the more than 90% of Nigerians attend.
Okay, doctor, let us begin to look at management of this procedure.
Yeah, you see, first and foremost, you appreciate that. You see, when you are doing bone marrow, you must appreciate that. Yeah, transplant. You must appreciate the fact that the transplant has to take. You understand? It can fail. You can transplant and then not achieve, you know, still not achieve the result. Now, so then again, you can then transplant and then the thing will not come. Then again, the process of transplant itself involves a lot of things, and there could be complications, you know, along the way, like any transplant. So transfusion you need to do while you are waiting for that to happen. So actually, there some of those complications could be apart from the general complication that may happen.
Okay. Then again, you know, when we're looking at some risk factors, I said people could be predisposed to leukemia because of previous chemotherapy, and
again, you know, that is why when anybody is undergoing cancer care or cancer treatment, there are baseline you must check because those drugs are quite toxic, not just to the bone marrow. They're toxic to the liver, they're toxic to the kidney. Okay. Also, standard, the blood is good, you know, it's doing. And then, secondly, you also want to look at the kidney function. You want to also look at the liver function. These are key organs. So we must appreciate the fact that for every treatment you have, there are actually side effects. But you know, if we commence medication now, so it's possible because essentially what happens is that you see, it is the very sensitive cell line, what you call the stem cell that can grow to become this, grow to become that, grow to become that. That's where the problem is. You know that it's in. So again, at the early stage of pregnancy, nobody wants to give, especially the first 3 months, you don't want to give any drug because you want all the cells of the baby at that early stage to develop appropriately.